songs have too much satanic content. Lead singer King Diamond claims songs like Into the Coven and Men Have No Fun are just pure fantasy and imagination. He says he's always been fascinated by mystery, so that's what he writes about. Obviously, some people don't make the connection. Paul McCartney says his
I thought that if you're going to have a TV program and you're talking about, say, you've got to have doctors in the show. If you're going to talk about astrophysics, you better have some astrophysicians.
So if we're talking about metal, we're going to have some real hardcore metal fans.
Being metallurgists.
Now, 2 minutes ago, you thought Daniel's jacket looked pretty heavy, right?
I feel like I'm limp. You just haven't matured, Daniel, that's all. It'll have its day.
Yeah, just leave it for a while and all the pieces will
If I
start.
water it, it'll grow. It's great, yeah. Okay.
Now, everybody at home might be wondering, there are different levels, it seems, of the fan. There's the peripheral level where you like a various number of different styles of music. Then there is the next level down where you start to get the pins and things like that. It looks like to me like you guys are on the sub level and you're the hardcore fan. So what are the things that every real heavy rock fan should have in his record collection? Well,
the very important.
this is depicted here.
Yeah, that's the new album that won the city.
Right.
Here's the new 12-inch of Manitou, which is kind of a departure because it's not about Satan anymore. This is the first album, Black Metal. Then we have Canadian metal maniacs Exciter. They have 2 albums out to their credit. They'll be here soon too. And then the gods of metal, Metallica. These guys started it all, sort of. After Metallica came out, the term thrash metal was created, and things have never been the same since then.
Talking like super speed.
Speed metal and stuff. It was, let's say, I would hate to say it, but it's been injected with punk influences, maybe.
Okay, now this is kind of like, this is when you want to become a real fan. This is when you start to get...
This is the essential.
Yeah, okay. Now what goes beyond that?
Now we get totally independent here.
I love this.
This is a band from Guelph called The Razor. They are the Ontario kings of speed metal, as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Now, they don't have a video or anything, do they?
No, they don't. They are working on their second album right now, which should be out beginning of the new year, I believe. Then, of course, what can I say?
Is that?
Special leather edition. This is a German compilation called Death Metal. It features a few bands from Germany. These guys are from Quebec. This is Voivod.
Oh, Voivod. They do covers of Venom. That's right.
I've been told that they do Venom covers. They do Venom songs better than Venom do. And another Swedish, Hellhammer. This is a compilation put by Music for Nations. It's called Comes to Your House. It's got bands like Exciter and Loudness. This is kind of like a metal rap song by the Lone Ranger. It was done by Johnny Z out of New York.
A metal rap?
It's about all these bands that I've been showing you. Another band from LA, Slayer. And another band from West Germany, Running Wild. This is right up there. Warfare. Now this is...
It just goes on forever.
Pure filth, and that's sort of what it is. Oz from Germany, Sweden, sorry. And another band called Evil, they're from Germany as well.
Now, most of these bands we never get to really see on a large scale because they don't have videos. They're the people that are out there and they're managing to make albums and things. It seems to me that only the people that have some money can make a video. So where does, say, a Judas Priest, who are regarded by some people to be the gods of metal, fit in with all of this?
Judas Priest, they come out with consistent material on that, and they're touring. They play North America, the size of venues that some of these bands are playing in Europe. See, they're very accessible in North America. They can fill the gardens and that. Whereas Metallica or Venom come over here, they have to play in concert hall or Larry's even bars. So they have a lot of money. They can do what they want to do, and they still keep a consistent raw sound.
Okay, let's see a little bit of Judas Priest. Here's Rob Bites on Much Music. Rob Bites, and that is Judas Priest on Much Music. Judy Roberts together with Daniel Richter, Brian, and Sean. Now, when you think about magazines, if you want to find out what's happening in heavy rock, you usually turn to Kerrang! Magazine. But, yeah, from England. Lemmy's on the cover. But they seem to cover everything from, so we've got Lemmy here, and then we've got Fish from Marillion here. I've even seen Duran Duran in issues of this. So this is kind of a top-level magazine, I would imagine. Not a trader, man. A top-level magazine. If you want to get a little bit deeper into it, where do you go?
Well, Metal Forces. I would say Metal Forces is probably one of the best magazines to deal with heavy metal, not Duran Duran, stuff like that. They deal with Venom. Like, how many magazines do you know that put Venom on the cover of their magazines, or Metallica? They deal with, like, the real metal. They don't put in the other stuff that people don't want to see when they're buying metal albums. And the thing about it, they don't lie, they don't bullshit you. They give you what you want to hear. They don't.
It's up to date.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What about these ones? All Fair magazines.
They're from France. They're all written in French. They deal again with all the heavy metal. There's no inky stuff involved here.
So we go in Quebec, you know.
Yeah, that's a good magazine for people who are bilingual. It's a good magazine as well. Now, you talk about European heavy rock and the fact that it seems like there is a new genesis of rock and roll coming out of places like Belgium, like Germany, even France to some degree. How does what's happening in Europe fit in with, I guess, where it all originally started was in the United States?
Or the States. Well, certain countries in Europe have massive metal followings. Like you go to places like Sweden, and on the streets, all you see is metalheads. Like there's no Geranies. They're all metalheads everywhere you go.
Girls too?
Oh yeah, everywhere. And that's a good point actually, because there seems to be a severe lack of girls in heavy metal as far as the fans go.
Certainly a lot of the European heavy rock bands are starting to cater towards the female audience. I know that Scorpions, that's all they talk about is girls. That's all they've got in their videos is girls.
On a band out of Germany called Warlock, we were getting quite popular over there, and they have a female singer.
So this is obviously not a male-dominated sport anymore.
Not anymore. It was, but hopefully that will change.
Okay, we got a couple of European bands coming up. From Switzerland, Crocus. This is their latest called Midnight Maniac. But first of all, we have Lenny Wolf, who was originally from Hamburg, Germany, went over to the U.S. and got a bunch of guys together, formed a band called Stone Fury, and he's breaking down the walls. Much music. With Brian and Sean.
Brian and Sean. Sean was one of the most conspicuous people in Toronto, for those of you from outside of town. And we would go out with cameras occasionally to shoot metal shows, and he's always there in the middle of it all. And I just had to ask you about some of the things on your jacket. It's truly amazing. Like I said, I feel like I'm naked, you know.
Yeah, your jacket was heavy until they showed up.
It's only just been born, but you've got an old man jacket who's been around the metal field for years. But there's a few things on it that Spider, for instance, is really.
It's just used to be a belt buckle Peter Spider put on.
Oh, I see.
So it's see-through.
And there's skulls and pentagrams and bullets and a variety of things.
Kinds of good badges and talented bands. This one obviously from Germany. It's the rock band.
Yeah. It's all been accumulated over almost 4 years.
I've never seen anything like it. It's a very personal thing. A lot of the time, the politically minded punks say that they wear leather jackets with stuff on it because they don't want to be acceptable to society. It's their statement against it. Why do you wear yours?
Well, I don't really want to kind of groove in anyone or anything like that. I like to look like this, right? And a lot of people find it hard to accept me in public.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they look at me and they just sneer. So I think a lot of them, they're jealous of the image of the way that I can express myself the way I want to.
I can imagine you getting on the subway and
Yeah, Canada, no problems. I was going to say, all the trains up.
You get on a streetcar, and you hear all the people talking as you get on the streetcar. And as soon as they see you, the entire streetcar becomes very, very quiet. And then they start to whisper, sort of, look at that. Like he doesn't notice. What is that?
And listen, why don't we just try to find out what kind of bulk of jacket there is here? We've got a scale now. Let's weigh you with the jacket on, Sean. What are we checking in? About 168, 169.
Yeah, okay. Is that pounds or kilograms?
That's pounds.
Pounds. 169 pounds.
This takes you 5 minutes to put on every morning.
Like to take off. 20th century armor, isn't it?
It is. It really is. That's why you can get up at the front of the stage and survive a gig, right? Because you're holy mackerel. Okay, so back on the scales, we got 179, and now we're checking in at 153. So that's
40, 30, 20,
25, 26 pounds. 26 pounds of jacket there. And I noticed that adorning the back of the jacket here, we can pick that up on Motorhead. So I thought since you had Motorhead in the back of your jacket, it might be appropriate to play Motorhead. We can only play Motorhead then, but we can play Fast Eddie Clarke now. We had for you Motorhead and Fastway on Much Music. All right.
Right now!
Brian. Thank you, Sean, for dropping by. And
Have a very
for
medley
dropping by.
Christmas for everybody, and don't wind up like Vince Neil and Razzle. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah, especially
See ya.
Or Motorhead.
Yeah, all right. Okay, we're going to go out with a little bit of Merciful Fate captured live. See you next week at the Power Hour.
Good night, thank you.